Alright, Final Fantasy XIV storyline continues with restricted reading given to us by Montaigne. We're in the Valdesian Annex with Y'shtola. We've just been granted access to the restricted section of the library here. Let's go. You'll be heading directly to the archives from here, I presume. You presume correctly. Then you'll want to speak with the index page when you arrive. It's been instructed to grant you access to the restricted section. I thought the index page was like a person who was working as a page. I didn't think. Interesting. Excellent. Once again, we thank you for all your help. Oh, it was my pleasure. Believe me. May you find the knowledge you seek. Shall we? She's my buddy. Let's go, buddy. She will follow me wherever I will go. Is there something along the way? No. So we'll go to the studio. The thing I was checking for, there are no little chat bubbles, except for this one, but that's already in the library, so like if there were more along the way here, I would have gone that way. To have little discussions with Y'shtola along the way. Oi. Oi. Oi, governor. Stupid, I'm sorry. Alright. Here's the chat bubble that we do have. Discuss Numenon. To think the set of instructions I laughingly imagined may actually exist, but yawns away. Okay, hold on. To think the set of instructions I laughingly imagined may actually exist, but yawns away from where you found me napping. That's way better of a read, sorry. If I had known of Alzadal III's exploits sooner, I would well have saved myself days of research. Even a children's book might have pointed me in the right direction. To achieve the impossible, one must needs be flexible of mind and look beyond conventional wisdom, a lesson I had already learned but clearly not taken to heart. Let me go left a little bit. In the library. Isilsvis. Pronounce this name. Sam, Sam, W-Y, Sam. Isilsvis. I'm going with like the W equals V version of W. Oh, index page. So you are an it. You're like one of the VV things that I was mentioning earlier. Like a... Oh my gosh, okay. If you do know... This reminds... Okay, so this wig that this little VV-like... Picture a black Lego guy with white eyes. Like just purely white upright rectangles that are the eyes. And then the hair from Zidane, from the exact same game as Vivi, on this little black Lego character. And there's like a red and white robes. Anyway, we'll talk to the index page. Archon, Y'shtola, and guest identified. Do you wish to proceed into the restricted archives? Follow me if you would. Watch your step and please note that the use of naked flames is discouraged. Cutscene. So they're automata. You can see the little automata legs underneath them. They walk just like Lalafell. And we have an interesting scene. Circular, 3 stories, stairs leading up and down. Also kind of in a spiral. In the middle of this circular area are 6 pillars.
If House Damia's notes are to be found anywhere, it will be here.
But they are...
Let us begin.
They are bookshelf pillars. And they get somehow wider as they go up after about halfway up the bookshelf pillars, like a circular bookshelf, which doesn't work for several reasons, but it gets wider. Like it flares out, which also doesn't work for some other reasons, but magic, I guess, maybe, I don't know. Weird. I don't know, 'cause magic. I mean, it works. It's just, you don't necessarily make the best use of your space with circular bookshelves. For the reason that the books themselves don't get thinner on one side and thicker on the other, you know? Whatever. Untitled Journal number 1 we will inspect. Today, in a world not my own, I met the most beautiful void-born creature. She was so unlike her ravenous brethren, eyes blazing not with hunger, but trembling like a candle's flame, threatening to flicker out at any moment. I wonder if she is even the proper word. Such distinctions seem inconsequential, insignificant even. All that matters is the love I feel for this exquisite, transcendent being. Though you're tempted to read more, this does not seem to be what we're looking for. Looks like a romance novel. Oh wait, it's the same one. Okay, I was like, why didn't it disappear? Weighty tome. Directing. In the year 1564 of the sixth astral era, the Amalja summoned Ifrit, their patron god. Accounts describe the being as a gigantic, lizard-like being with a potent command of fire-aspected magics. If we consider that primal summoning is an act fueled by faith and prayer, it is unsurprising, if not expected, that the resulting deiform entity should manifest the appearance and powers with which it is attributed by its worshippers. The music is super distracting. It's like jazz piano. What then might emerge from the ether should one who believes in an almighty omniscience attempt? What then might emerge from the ether should one who believes in an almighty omniscience attempt the same ritual? Okay. Would the scholar himself grace us with his presence? Some other embodiment of divine sagacity? Fuck. I got so annoyed by the music. Oh my god, dude. Something like something, or I don't know. I myself have many questions concerning the nature of the ancient world. With no spell to transport me back to the days of old, could I instead summon a being possessed of encyclopedic wisdom of every age? Yet with no means to verify its pronouncements, how could one be certain if they were true? Alright. See if I can read that line I missed again. Could this man-made god truly be all-knowing? And if it were, whence would such knowledge arise? Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. Luckily it's lucky that it stuck around this time. Leather-bound log. The following pages detail an advanced method for manipulating rift-spanning apertures as devised by Nuhashan, the ninth patriarch of House Demir. If you're okay, that name is Nancy U-H-A Sam H-A-H Nancy. Nuhashan. Actually, it's easier to pronounce than I thought. Nuhashan. We present these research notes to the faculty of Charlene Studium as both a token of our friendship and an expression of our boundless admiration. I got it. Take it to my other cat lady, a compatriot. Have something you'd like to show me, do you? My apologies, I flipped open but a single book and was completely absorbed by the contents. This is called Epiphanies of House Demir. Well done, Mercy. I think you may have found our prize. Cutscene. This music is so much better for a library.
Yes, the ether signature is unmistakable. I've felt the traces of House Damir's resonance many times at the Great Work. Time to see what all the fuss was about.
It's a black covered book with some little gold designs here and there, depicting like a bird flying over a moon or sun, kind of. Instead of reading like a normal person, she's using magic. She set it up on like a music stand. Ooh, Atamos. Atomos?
Among the ranks of the Voidsent, There exist entities with the power to call forth their brethren from beyond. The species known as Atomos, however, is uniquely prodigious in this regard.
If you've ever played a lot of different Final Fantasy games, I think I became most familiar with Atomos or Atomos. Oh, I think he was in Final Fantasy 9. Definitely not 10. Possibly 8, although I never finished 8. I just didn't really get into it. I got like maybe a third of the way through. I don't know. Probably not even that far. But yeah, if you picture a hut, like an upright, somewhat thin, maybe like two-person kind of hut that's tall, and then you picture like that hut has an ovular kind of opening that you could enter into, and there's some spikes on top of the hut, and there's a spike in the middle top of the hut. And this hut is actually it's made of like bone or carapace or both, and then under the hut is, oh, does it look like a bug from one side? It kind of looks like a bug if you look from behind, like a beetle of some sort. But yeah, this thing is upright, an upright hut. Underneath the hut is kind of like a chitinous, not chitinous, like a carapace bone downward facing tail spike thing that like is like a long thin triangle, and it hovers. They don't they just hover over the ground. They don't stand on anything. They just but yeah, that openness, that the opening into the hut, as it were. And there's kind of like teeth on the top and bottom portion of the hut opening. That is where things get sucked into or spit out of other dimensions.
From its distended maw, it can expel an endless procession of void-born creatures. A talent which sorely tested the Radiant host in its battles against these abominations. Surmising that the entity itself was acting as a void gate, we endeavored to capture a small specimen and subsequently examine its physiological structure. Our findings revealed that the Atomos had absorbed a planar fissure into its own flesh, which it could expand at will into a functioning gate. Upon further analysis, we identified an ethereal wave pattern emitted during this process. A pattern we were able to emulate by passing crystal-stored ether through a specially designed prism.
An ethereal wave pattern emitted during this process. Pattern, okay. So you used crystals, okay. In Final Fantasy XI, these guys showed up in one of the later expansions as a way to travel to the past, which was that was a very fun expansion in my opinion. But they were completely benign. I think there was maybe one you had to fight at some point in time, but other than that, they were just passageways.
We proceeded to embed said prism into an arcane simulacrum, thus completing what we have dubbed our artificial Atomos.
Where is it?
How could I have been so blind to the possibilities? This species, not to mention its ability to summon void scent, has been discussed among academics for years now. Just before the advent of the 7th Umbral Calamity, we received reports of Atomos sightings from every corner of Eorzea. Surely you've at least heard the tales.
I have not, in this game, at least as far as I remember. Oh, but I nod. Okay, sure.
And still, House Daimir went and built a mock Atomos of their very own. I'm not surprised the Archons consigned their work to a restricted archive. It was no easy task, but at last we've unearthed the volume we've been searching for. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't tempted to stay longer.
Yeah.
See what other forbidden titles might be lurking on these shelves.
She's gazing longingly at all the various books, lots of, like 3 stories of books, 4 or 5 shelf levels per story, probably 5, it looks like 5 shelf levels per story. And the room has to be probably the size of a normal kind of house, normal 1-story house, aside from, being 3 stories. How else would you describe it? I don't know, something like that.
Ah, but that would be abusing the very special privilege we've been granted now, wouldn't it? Better not.
The page escorts us out. The door's shut behind the page and us. But the page just stands guard as we walk on to do whatever we need to do. Eorzea has been added to the Unending Codex. Sure. Speak with Y'shtola to continue. As much as I would love to start crafting the Atomos, I'm afraid this is far outside my field of expertise. Fortunately, we know a Harnish alchemist who would be delighted to involve herself in our House Daemir project. Our business here is concluded for the moment. Please pass on our regards to the Forum. Your message will be conveyed should you wish to indulge in more forbidden literature. I will be here. Patron mode disabled. Security mode engaged. If anyone can help us, Nidorna can. I say we return to Thavnir and look for her at the Great Work. I was wondering who she was talking about, then we know. I don't remember things. People or stuff. Yeah, I don't want to do that. You get there by using the teleporter just to the north. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. Take the Ethernet back over to Valdesian Annex, and then do the experimental teleportation that has been working just fine this whole time, aside from the sickness that one time. Get up, come on, get down with shaking nails. Alright, pardon me for a thing. You'll be alright if you don't ask me to stay. That's one of the things I have to really think about for when I eventually move with my future wife to the Philippines. But we're not going to be doing that probably for like a decade or something. I don't know the exact. We don't really have an exact plan, but her visa process is processing and to get over here, and we'll see. Okay. The timing could not have been more perfect. Okay. Pardon the interruption, but if you've watched my channel at all, that's just how it goes. That's how I do. It's not a good habit, I know, but talk to Kite. Yes, teleport me, please, and thank you. I wonder if there's still like a percentage chance to get sick from it. Okay, we'll take the 100 gil teleport over to the Great Work since we got to Yedlamod. Oh yes, this place. The place where the etherite is on this like central circular dock with a dock that goes out to the ship area and then some pathways made of wood to some other areas. And Nidana is talking to Yeshtola already. I'm late to the party, as usual. Sometimes I get there first. Yeshtola tells me you are pursuing a most fascinating study, and that you want me to be a part of it. I nod. I have no doubt you will be interested. Sorry. This research log should speak for itself. I wish I could talk today. I don't know what's going on. Will it now? By the sisters, this is the mark of House Demir. I never even knew such a work existed. Few should. It was sequestered in Numenon's restricted archives, after all. It was, but that means every word within is forbidden knowledge. I'm so sorry. A forbidden tome filled with forbidden research, and you put it right into my unsuspecting hand? I can hardly wait to read it. We crack up at this. Oh, Nidana, you're precious. Screen goes black, and we're back. Yeah, because she's read all of it just in that time, yeah, obviously, while we're standing there. To think that Demir were developing such marvelous techniques so long ago. How many innovations have been lost over the centuries, I wonder? Now that you've glanced over the notes, what say you to helping us build a new mock Atomos? I say yes, 1,000 times yes. Work on the Demir project that had even the redoubtable scholars of Charlian trembling in their sandals? No alchemist of the great work could resist. You are a woman after my own heart. Oh, I suppose I should ask, what do you mean to do with this big-mouthed simulacrum once we've built it? I explain. So, there's a secret void gate, and it's sealed in the ruins at the bottom of the bounty. Today is a day of revelations indeed. If the purpose of our man-made Atomos is to expand this hidden portal, then I will need to see it for myself, I think. Manipulating rift-spanning apertures is not the sort of thing you want to attempt without first taking into account every single factor. Then by all means, accompany us to the vault. I plan to lead us back there shortly, once we've finished gathering the components I require. I tilt my head at that. Charlian's markets provided the raw aquamarine and pure water crystals, but I might need help with obtaining a small quantity of astrally infused water. For such a liquid, you need go no further than the font of Maya. The ascetics of old once favored the place for their meditations, and the water which pools there now is known to enliven the flow of ether. That sounds perfect. If you would be so kind as to fill a flask at the pool, I will petition Vitra to join us. The idea I have in mind won't amount to much without his authority to command the Void Gate. Shall we be about it then? We meet back here anon. She walks off, screen goes black, and we're back in control. And I'm going to there. Can I get there faster somehow? Yeah, we'll go Palaka stand, and just southwest from there is probably the fastest way. Maybe only by like 10 seconds. That's including the teleportation time. But still. Did I get the Chocobo Porter? I haven't, have I? Did I? Usually I do. Yeah, cool, we did. Okay. So we'll run in on our Chocobo through these jungly kind of areas. I believe, you know what? If there is a zone in here that was like densely packed trees, I don't remember it. I think these are supposed to be like jungles, just... Oh wow. Iravati, a red-eyed elephant of big proportions, level 90, one of the special... Like a hunt mob? Is that what that... I don't know what that symbol meant. I always considered them special and scary, so like don't attack them, don't go near them if you can help it. We've been here before to save somebody from drowning, if I remember correctly. There is an astrally dense pocket where we are going to dip our water bottle thingy. Inspect it first, I guess. Nope, we were interacting. Okay. We got Argos as our random mount. Little pupper dog sound as Argos comes into existence. Back to Y'shtola with Nadana and Estanian Varshan. Do you have that flask for me? Hand over the astral aspected water. Yes, this should suffice. Thank you, Mercy. Restricted reading is complete. I'm gonna take tenacity. Well, yeah, there's no crit, so I'll take tenacity. 1 level 9 battle dance materia for tenacity, plus 12. That's the end of this quest. It's the end of the video. I'll see you next time.